Good morning. It's the ops here swimming in the light. You know, despite the sun hiding it away. But the ops is like looking, and the ops is like gonna find the light. Uh, Shout out to Andy Reid. Shout out to Kansas City for, I guess, an exciting game last night. Uh, kind of predictable, but it was close. And shout out to Andy Reid because the people of Kansas City made crop art. The aliens did not do it. It's Andy Reid crop art. And I mean, it's cool. It'd be pretty hard to do. Uh, they say like crop circles are aliens, but I think it's been pretty much proven that like it's like human art. All you need is some like all you need is some like boards and you like step on them. I seen a thing like that all the time, you know. So shout out to crop art. Shout out to Precision Mazes. That'd be cool to build a maze, open it up, be like, hey, $5. We'll get lost in it. Wow. Yeah, this is the one they showed on NBC last night. Thanks, coach. Hey, shout out to the fact that I can't remember names. I think it's Mahomes the Hill. But yeah, he thought like he didn't catch it in the touchdown because uh, the ball like fumbled and all this stuff, and then it goes in the air, and it actually was a catch, but they did not challenge it. That could have been a touchdown, but it would have made it like over sooner. So shout out to the fact that almost 90% of Sunday Night Football goes down to the wire. And shout out to that being fun, but also kind of weird. Because it was the Broncos. Shout out to the Broncos. That one guy, Drew Lock. He's like the half version of like Andrew Luck. The league's like, alright, well here's Drew Lock. I guess he didn't wear a mask or something, and then I guess they had to like put a wide receiver in at quarterback on Sunday or last week or whatever it would have been. So shout out to that. Hey, does this sound? Listen to this sound. Remember this? What is that? You know, it's the fucking Nextel chirp. Shout out to a chirp. Shout out to a tweet. It seems like a bird is like a original message thing. Because I never understood this. They used to just like staple a fucking note to a bird's arm and send him off and be like, hey, go give this to this guy in fucking New Hampshire. Or like, hey, staple this fucking note to a bird and then tell him, hey, go across the sea and just give it to somebody. Shout out to that being probably stressful. Being like I mean, you got tracking nowadays, and, you know, postal, mail. At least it was free. So instead of throwing birds, or tweeting and chirping and fucking all this stuff. But that's the thing. I mean, I guess I almost see it as like more reliable to put a fucking message in a bottle and put it in the ocean. Because at least that makes sense. It might take like fucking a year or something like that. Shout out to a long time ago. Shout out to a long time ago for, you want to get to a place, I walk 100 fucking miles, rest, and then do it again. Shout out to the fact that I would totally just go walk across the fucking United States. But I guess I'm a pussy. I don't know, man. You gotta walk a long way from Ohio to get anywhere decent. So, I don't know if that's possible. But it does sound fun and stuff, and like, if I had some like backup money, sure. Because at least I know my legs, well, they can break down, but I'm able to walk, and you don't gotta be like taking care of the car and stuff. Shout out to every time I go on like a far, far drive, the number one thing in my head is like, alright, I hope the car doesn't break down. Because that's like the worst feeling. I mean, unless you got the funds to like just do it up again. Shout out to when T.I. had some kind of reality show or something. He was saying like, hey, after the car's out of gas, I just leave it. It's like, well, that's nice, T.I., but it's kind of wasteful. If I was in that situation, I would just, I'd probably just like gift a car every day. I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna buy a car, put a tracker on it for the time being, and once it runs out of gas, I'll leave $10 in a fucking gas can. First person to come get it, it's theirs. So I'll just be buying like 20 cars a week. Well, I guess 7, maybe 6 to close on Sunday operations. In fact, there's been an ops update. So the ops has been going live at 9 o'clock, and I got fucking Stone Age internet, so it doesn't exactly look quality, and the ops is aware of that. So here's the new plan. The late night ops is gonna drop the live for now. Late night ops, TV, radio hour, podcast is the new mode. We're dropping the live, still at 9, posted at 9. But the fact of the matter is, it's just gonna be recorded, because I figured out that I can record a whole hour, much better quality, without being live. So the ops is always opting around, the ops is always operating, and yeah, dropping that until I get better opportunities for the live. So yeah, I think this will be funner. It'll look better, and we're just always trying to opt and improved here. Call me the improvement ops. Uh, Shout out to Saturday. I made fucking like pancakes and eggs, and then I took a very very large like shit about it, and I was like, damn. So the ops loaded up on fiber, cleared out his ops hole, his ops stomach, and got up, opted into some fucking liquid. What is it called? Liquid IV. Which props to that, and props to having to pee a lot, but props to the fact that it's not like replacing water. There's just no replacement for water. You need a lot of water. So I like that it's like a quick like energy thing, but at the end of the day, I mean, you gotta have like actual water. There's no fucking like cheat codes to being healthy, really. There's tips, there's tools, but there's no fucking easy way to do it. People be like, how do you lose weight? How do you be healthy? I'm not concerned with like losing weight. The ops is fucking fine with his weight, but the ops does want to opt into like actually being healthy and try to, and it can be hard because you hear a bunch of chicken nuggets calling your name, and maybe one of your favorite meals like taco salad, but I stood strong on the taco front. I stood strong on the taco front. I got me a bowl of cereal. And sure, the op's gonna opt it into some fucking taco salad, but I don't think I would feel like waking up. So shout out to waking up, not full of fucking meat. And shout out to meat. But yeah, I mean, I normally would just like opt into some kind of bad food if it's like a weekend, but the ops was like, alright, we gotta clear out for Monday morning, because the ops ain't trying to like fill himself with shit and feel like that. But shout out to fucking taco salad. It's definitely one of my favorites, but I would say chicken taco salad. That does sound pretty good. Shout out to fajitas, which might be not too bad, but who knows. Shout out to fish tacos. I don't think I've had that. Shout out to working at a fucking fake ass restaurant and trying to get taco salad on the menu. But people said, or no, not taco salad, taco pizza. Tried to get taco pizza on the menu there, but people were like, hey, we're gonna have to opt out on that idea. And I'm like, well, alright. So you got your pepperoni, your fucking veggie, you got your supreme, got all the basic ones. Shout out to being able to call up any fucking restaurant, pizza place ever, and be able to get every one of those pizzas that they make. So shout out to that being a little different. But yeah. Shout out to tacos. Shout out to tortilla chips. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, they got like a blue one, and a yellow one, and a white one. I like the colors. I mean, a fucking corn chip is a corn chip. It's a corn, and then they just like make it into a chip. But it's like probably like salty and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, shout out to trying to do less coffee, cause the ops was operating on 2 pots of coffee, and and I was recently talking to somebody that says uh, that's not good to do. Which, you know, I didn't think it was that big of a deal to have that much caffeine because, I mean, I'm definitely used to having a lot of caffeine because nowadays it's just like, alright, here's 3G coverage, here's 4G coverage, here's 5G coverage. Well, it's the same thing. It's just gonna keep going up. Oh yeah. Yeah. 5G, 4G. So it's like, alright, a caffeine drink starts at like, alright, 100. And then a couple years later, they're like, hey, 150. And then the next year, the next energy drink company's like, guys, people are getting used to this shit. So let's up it up to 200. And then a year later, they're like, hey, we need 300 milligrams of caffeine. So shout out to getting used to 300 milligrams of fucking caffeine. But I'm trying to opt out on that. Because, yeah, I mean, all these names, they pretty much are exactly what they sound like. Bang. Monster. Shout out to fucking Monster, which I do love, but I don't know. There's something that feels like kind of pathetic to be like 30 almost and drinking a fucking Monster. I remember, props to whoever this was, I don't remember, but the vibe that Monster makes me think of is like, I went to a fucking talent show in high school. I didn't do it, but I remember sitting in there, think by myself. But yeah, I remember some like screamo band, which I just will never understand, screamo. But props to that whoever that was for like doing it, cause that would be hard to do. But he was screaming up on stage, and he had a giant monster, and I'm like, well, damn. If that don't capture the energy of a fucking monster, I don't know what will. He's like, hey, I gotta go scream. So, give me a monster. But I mean, they're not all like that. There's a dragon, especially about carbonation issues. Shout out to carbonation issues. Sounds like that'd be on the fucking like Green New Deal. So white tea with the purple dragon. Shout out to fucking dragons. Shout out to the dragon from Shrek. Shout out to Cisco, who is often disrespected. Cisco, hey, He's not the thong song guy, alright? Yeah, that was his big thing, alright? That was his big solo thing, but don't forget about Drew Hill. Shout out to Drew Hill, who I would always take over Jodeci. I'm definitely a Drew Hill guy, and they have like, I mean, they're still around, but you know, they all, fucking half of them are different people now, and they got one guy, and one guy's new, and then one guy's been there a fucking week, and then one guy like had a heart attack or something. But I'm glad they're still doing it, and I hope that R&B groups can make a comeback. Cause yeah, I mean, the fucking two R&B groups that were around, and all the fucking little mini ones that existed several years ago, or I guess many years ago at this point, were all reality show based. Day 26, Brother. Shout out to them getting big heads and being like, hey, we're Brother, and we look up to Jodeci, and you know they broke up, and like two guys did a thing, and they were successful. So without without the group being successful first, we're gonna go pretend we're fucking Casey and JoJo, which I think is what it was. But you know, shout out to Drew Hill. Shout out to them coming back after a while, and shout out to Day 26 for trying. But I mean, I heard their new shit, and I'm just like, man, maybe we're good on new Day 26. Maybe let's just keep what we had. Cause yeah, I mean, fuck, it's not even worth hearing. Alright, so hey, you know what's funny? So back in the fucking day, there was when I was opting around all kinds of phones, and back when phones were like fun. I remember, so I kept looking around, and I found this phone called a Kin, a Microsoft Kin, and it was widely considered one of the worst phones ever made. And I got it basically just to see why. And I remember thinking, like, there's a lot of weird shit about it. A lot of things missing. But it was overall fun. So it has a couple missing features on the Kin was a contact list. So shout out to a fucking contact list. Shout out to opting out of contact lenses. I don't think I could do that. Touching my eye every single day and night. I don't know about that. So it had no contact list, no calendar. Unable to instant message. Well, this was in 2000 and... Let's see. Kin 1. Alright, the Kin was a short-lived mobile phone line from the Microsoft designed for users of social networking. Microsoft described the phone's target demographic as men and women between 15 and 30. So shout out to that being like a wide variety of people. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to like get like men and women and people that are like not 30. The Kin 1 and 2 went on the market on May 14th, 2010. Within 2 months, Verizon stopped selling the phones because of poor sales. Microsoft scrapped its planned European release, stopped promoting the devices and ceased production, and resigned the Kin development team to other projects. A comeback. On November 18th, 2010, Verizon Wireless website confirmed that the Kin 1 and 2 were back on the market with a reworked feature phone operating system. Rebadged as Kin 1 and Kin 2M. Since the new phone did not use the Kin.com website, it did not require a data plan. That might have had something to do with what I got it for, too. Yeah. The prices of the devices were slashed, with the Kin 1 reduced from 50 to free. They're like, here, we were trying to make 50 bucks, but just take it. So let me see if I can find an exactly Kin 2 worst phone. Because I swear, I remember it being called the worst phone of all time. Alright, this is a CNET top 10 worst phones of all time. The Nokia Engage. The Motorola Rocker E1. In an effort to keep up with the enthusiasm that the tech world had for the Apple iPod, Motorola leaped with both feet into the bandwagon with the Roker EI. Shout out to fucking Al Roker. A phone with an officially licensed Apple iTunes music player built in, but with the deal-breaking restrictions of only being allowed to store 50 songs at a time. Released in 2005, the Roker E hit the stores about the same time that Apple launched the iPod Nano, a smaller device capable of storing up to 4 gigs of music. Apple execs must have laughed all the way to the bank after Motorola's team signed on for their licensing agreement. 50 songs. I mean, damn. Shout out to the Nano being fun. Nokia 7280. Yeah, I mean, if you call a phone a fucking, like, area code, then it's probably gonna not be that great. The Modu phones. Are you someone who likes your phone to be a phone and your music player to play music? Modu phone rebelled against the converged device direction that all other phone markets were heading in, designing a phone that could be inserted in a skin to transform its capabilities. For example, the basic handset inserted into the MP3 skin would transform the look and feel of the user's experience. So basically, it's a piece of shit. So hey, shout out to, I never heard of this, Testra TikTok. It's been a long time since we saw a product name with a pun in it. The Testra TikTok hit stores at a time when it seemed like all parents that wanted their kids to carry phones that can only dial 4 numbers, relying on gimped technology to replace a good parenting and healthy open dialogue with their kids. This was only years before parents would replace babysitters with iPads. LG chocolate? The LG chocolate is one of those phones that could have been awesome but wasn't. On paper, the chocolate read like a smartphone's second coming. For the time in 2009, a real iPhone killer for the ages. But after only moments with LG's terrible S-Class UI, upon releasing that, the chocolate was a feature phone priced as a smartphone. Yeah, I think I had the chocolate, it basically had like one of those touch screens that weren't really a touch screen. It was like, hey, okay, so I actually had a couple different razors, but I got them after kind of after they were already not a thing, and I still have a Razr. Uh, Motorola Razr 2 V9 Ferrari Special Edition. So Ferrari's like, hey, you know what look cool? If you were in a fucking red ass Ferrari with a red ass Razr. And shout out to Razr for coming back. So what is up with this? Motorola and Ferrari were both attempting to cash in big with the Razr 2 in late 2008, reserving us a lukewarm dish of last year's phones, only this time with exclusive wallpapers and a ringtone that sounded like a roaring F1 race car engine. Two features that you could easily download for free off the internet if you really wanted. So that sounds like a marketing thing. Well, I don't say that can. Huh. Well, yeah, this was a long time ago. Shout out to that. Shout out to thinking it's funny to call that Richard Sherman guy Richard Shermhead. And what is a Shermhead? A Shermhead, a person who has smoked enough Sherm to acquire serious brain damage. This does not take long to happen, as often characterized by trembling, drooling from a slackly held open mouth, along with a rambling, mostly incoherent pattern of speech. Oh man, that Reggie, he ain't nothing but a Shermhead. He ain't no damn good for nothing. All he's doing is twitching, drooling, fooling, slinking around in the alleys. He's melted his brain real good. Shout out to Shermhead, Richard Shermhead, who is on Richard, who is on a different team nowadays. Oh yeah, he's on the Niners. So shout out to the fucking Niners who, you know, the Ravens. Shout out to the fact that the fucking Browns now have a better... The Browns now have a better record than the Seahawks. And I kind of... I mean, the Cowboys season is done. There's nothing there. I was thinking the Seahawks in the beginning just because of like, I mean, that Sunday night game with the like Metcalf guy running that guy down, that was pretty exciting, but I do not know if they're gonna really get back there at this point. Cleveland Browns record. I mean, it's pretty insane to actually see that. But, yeah, I mean, shout out to the fucking Bengals for trying. And shout out to hoping that I'll probably root for who can ever take down the Steelers. Steal some of the Steelers. Steal some of the Steelers' glory. And that'd be great. So shout out to the fucking 9-3 Browns. I mean, damn. Guess we'll see what happens, but I know that I almost like jinx every team I fucking like. Cause I remember every time I'd watch something, like every time I watch a game and like root for somebody, that team would lose every time. I'm like, alright, so the bad luck charm is fucking me. But it might just be I guess it's just a coincidence, but it sure felt that way. So, I mean, shout out to, really, pretty much like in like the underdogs of the NFL, and I think that's more fun that way, but it's also fun to fucking win. So shout out to that. Shout out to, what's his name? Steve Koronaki or whatever. You know, he's up there touching on the screens and doing all this stuff, standing for 20 hours for politics. Well, he broke down some like NFL. He broke down some NFL stats last night, and he did pretty. I mean, it was pretty interesting, but you could tell that he's almost doing it like based off computer data. So you know, he's all about the numbers. But that's the thing about football or the NFL. It is about numbers. I mean, it's a fucking points game, but it's also the heart, the drive, the motivation, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, as far as numbers go, it's pretty interesting. So yeah, I mean, I'm just glad that so far it seems like the season might be able to be completed. Which I opted out on the fucking Ohio State season again. I might try it. But shout out to the fact that it's fucking beat-ish again week. Because you're not allowed to say the M. Which I don't get. I don't get the whole thing like that. Like, don't even say M. Because, meh. Don't eat M&M's. Shout out to fucking Marysville. Happen to, like, tape up their fucking sign. Because it's got an M on it. I mean, if they're going to say no M's, then how far do they take it? Do you cross out every M on everything? Or, because I've seen store owners on the news, like, taping up the M's on the thing, and I'm like, alright, that's cool, but what the fuck? I mean, that's like Ohio State trying to own the word the. Hey, the is for everybody. The is mine, the is yours. Shout out to owning a fucking word. Shout out to, I remember Taylor Swift tried to own a word. She tried to own a word. I can't remember what it was. Taylor Swift tries to own a word. Okay, here we go. Taylor Swift trying to trademark this sick beat. Well, I mean, you can't exactly, like, trademark. I don't know. Maybe you can, but it's not like other people haven't fucking said that before. So yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to Mondays. Shout out to Late Night Ops TV. Shout out to Late Night Ops Pod. So yeah, I'm pretty. I feel excited about the direction and realizations and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean the first Late Night Ops no live Late Night Ops TV Radio Hour podcast will be filmed tonight at 9, and I guess the new schedule would be that gets uploaded in the morning and recorded at night, because I can't upload it throughout the night because we have cornfield caveman internet. So I'm gonna go upload that in town and do all that kind of stuff. So better quality. You know, the ops is looking around with his fucking opticals and saying, hey, What can make me unstoppable? So, shout out to the operation, shout out to Late Night Ops TV, shout out to Late Night Ops F Pod, actually. Late Night Ops Pod. So yeah, happy fucking Monday. Happy stepping into the fucking world, and shout out to Recharge Sunday. Get spiritual, you know, recharge. I mean, treat your body like a fucking phone, and plug yourself in. Cause that's the root of everything. I mean, if you are what you eat, and all that kind of stuff, then it just goes full circle. So yeah, shout out to a new week. Shout out to closing in on 2021. Shout out to thinking that it's funny as fuck to hear. I don't really want to mention that guy, but I just think it's funny. I mean, he's like crying, like overturn the elections, the results of the election. Like, all right, you can't just fucking say it and like, I mean, it doesn't make it true. It's literally the funniest thing ever to see. Hey, count again, and just overturn it. It's like, my guy, the people have fucking spoken. Get your fucking fake ass out of here. And props to the fact that that fucking clown will never step foot in New York again. And hopefully he has to leave the country, because it's just so fucking embarrassing. It's absolutely fucking embarrassing to the whole nation to have a fucking man-child up there screaming and crying. It's like, man, you've lost your own party. You're about to fucking kill Rudy Giuliani and shit. The man has COVID now, and he's like 70 fucking 9 or something. So, shout out to Trump, basically like trying to kill Rudy. I don't know how much he's paying them, but damn. But I mean, it's his fault for having no fucking backbone. Some people are fucking jellyfish. Some people just squirm through life and fucking hide and just live like fucking cowards and all that kind of stuff. So shout out to the fact that we're almost through this. Papa Joe Biden is coming, and you know, the big fucking clown baby shall end. And the ops has lost his lighting. Alright, well, shout out to fucking man babies, shout out to cowards, and shout out to America getting back to America. So I look forward to that. Alright, well, the ops doesn't operate in the dark, so we gotta figure this out. But that is a major coincidence that one happened now. But that's the thing. The ops don't fucking stop.